Want to use your anthropology skills to become a cross-cultural trainer? Then check out sNAPAshots, conversations with practicing professional and applied anthropologists. Let's hear from and meet Tamrika.
My name is Tamrika Khvtisiashvili. I'm Georgian, Russian, American. I am a linguist and anthropologist. Currently, I'm doing cross-cultural professional development trainings, most recently in India and Uzbekistan.
How did you get interested in anthropology?
So I came to anthropology through linguistics, and I still think of myself maybe as a linguist and anthropologist. But I got into linguistics because I wanted to study endangered languages that were document and study endangered indigenous languages. And I kind of, the university where I was attending had this amazing couple professors that were known for that. So it kind of happened that way. Originally, linguistics came about through reading lots of Chomsky for actually political reasons. I didn't know he was a linguist. And then I was like, he's a linguist. Like, what does that exactly mean? Because I was studying art at the time. I was doing filmmaking. So so it's kind of funny. It's through Chomsky that I came to linguistics, through linguistics into endangered languages, and then kind of got into more cultural anthropology because of this documentation project.
What types of industry challenges do you get to help solve with this anthropological lens?
I'm in kind of education section. By education sector, I mean I work with I do a lot of professional development or training for other teachers, professors, trainers themselves. So I think in education, it's been interesting because educational systems are part of culture too, right? So in different regions, you have different ideas to what it means to educate someone, what it means to be educated, whatever the sphere is. It could be English language, right? It could be anthropology, it could be anything, but just in general, like who's in charge, what kind of power that person should have in the classroom, outside of classroom, what is the dynamic between the learner and the teacher or instructor or professor. So those kinds of things are always interesting because as we go, and do this professional development in different parts of the world, or as I do it, I have to constantly remember that I'm coming from my own understanding of education system, right? And what is allowed or not allowed, or not even just allowed, but what is welcomed or considered a right thing to do. So I would say those kinds of challenges, maybe it's been helpful to have this kind of anthropological background in a sense that I can, again, look at the larger picture and understand it not from this ethnocentric point of view, but kind of from more relative point of view, and realize like, okay, well, that's great that I want students to actually be loud and make noise and not raise hand, because to me, that's a happy class, but that's not what they want, or that's not what they're used to, and instead of me saying this is a better way, I kind of watch them and I show them my way, and so find other ways to influence each other without saying that one is better than the other. So I think having that kind of background where I had to study different ways, different cultures, different approaches to different cultures, it has helped me a little bit deal with education systems in other countries, which are often extremely authoritative. So I would say that has been like a specific challenge that I feel like I have to always fall back on my own kind of like, okay, it's okay. Like, don't tell them it's wrong. Just figure out how to show them maybe there is another way.
What was one thing about anthropology that nobody told you as a student?
If you're around the ideas of kind of some ideas of relativity, or like if you're comfortable with this idea that there are many ways to interpret information and we do things differently and so on, you kind of, especially when you're in an academic bubble, you kind of start to think this is how the whole world is. I spent like lots of time in master's program and then PhD, like you just kind of, you end up in this bubble, right? Of people who are really open to like the ideas of interpreting things in different ways and talking about it. And so maybe, and I mean, academia in all fields does this, so this is not only true to anthropology or linguistics, but coming out of long-term schooling could be a shocker for people, because you enter a world, people, especially when we're dealing with things like culture and communicating effectively and so on, like people don't want to do that, right? Like often you end up in situations, workplace, whatever, where it's not like that, right? It's not as accepting and kind of curious, even, in academia, like people were curious, right? Like regardless. So the real world might be less curious, and therefore less open to hearing ideas that might be different from theirs. So I think that's always kind of interesting, because you come out and you think you're going to have this like amazing experiences, and often you do, but you are also surrounded by people that like they don't care about your ideas about this like different ways of doing stuff. They just kind of want to get their stuff done. So maybe that like lack of curiosity,
What advice would you like to pass on to future anthropologists seeking roles in professional fields?
This idea that we should always have enough space in our brain to allow ourselves to change our mind. So just that, it's good to have your conventions. I have them even about multiplicity and relativity, like I have all of those, but it's okay. I think it's really important that I constantly allow myself to change. And sometimes we forget that, we get stuck with our way of thinking. And if you always have that like safe space where you can be like, you know what, like actually, I'm not going to believe that anymore. Like that's not the argument I'm going to have. It's going to be, and I don't know, and being gentle about it, like that it's okay to change your mind, that it's okay to think, a few years ago, think one thing and then something happening in life, thinking, you know what, I actually don't want to stand by that anymore. I don't believe that. And I don't know, sometimes we're really hard on ourselves and like we feel embarrassed or we feel somehow that we can't do that. And I think I would tell, especially anthropologists, because you do encounter so many ideas and they affect us differently. Like maybe having access to this multiple ways of living has affected me one way, but it might affect someone totally differently, right? They might be like, no, like I don't like that. I don't think that's how women should be treated or lived. And no, I'm going to really fight for blah, blah, blah. Like we all have different interpretations of things, and just allowing ourselves to change our mind, I think, is really important.
Thank you, Tamrika, for sharing your experience as a practicing anthropologist in the professional development industry. For more SNAPAshots, find us at practicinganthropology.org, LinkedIn, Meta, and Twitter.
Okay, I think it's having social ease in some very strange situations. Yeah, and I don't know. I've learned that it's not super common, but that's just one thing that I'm like, I'm so glad that so few things really freak me out. Not only survive, but thrive in sometimes situations that are really bizarre, strange, uncomfortable. I've learned how to have social grace to just kind of deal with them, and I really think that's my superpower.
SNAPAshots.